Hey everybody out there, I'm 𝗵𝗲𝗄𝗃, and in this video today, I'm gonna show you how to do 10 hula hoop tricks that you can do on your hands. There's so many different hula hoop tricks in the hand hooping world that I recommend that you learn. So in this video, if you don't even know how to spin a hula hoop on your hand, I'm gonna show you how to do that in this video. Also, I put a list of the 10 hoop tricks I will be covering in this video, along with their timestamps in the description of this video, so that you can go straight to the hoop tricks that you want to learn. All right, so the first hula hoop trick that I want to look at on my list involves spinning the hoop on your hand in a vertical position like this. Now, when doing this trick, I do recommend using a smaller hoop. If you're using a giant size hoop that's heavier, this hula hoop trick might be harder to do. So to get started, go ahead, take your hoop, and you're basically just going to place it on your hand. I recommend keeping the hoop in between your thumb and your fingertips, and then you're gonna take your other hand and hold the hoop and just give it a nice big spin around your hand just like that. And like I said, when you spin that hoop, try to keep it in between your thumb and fingertips. I would avoid spinning that hoop on your arm. There are some arm hula hoop tricks that you can do, but I'm not gonna look at those tricks in this video. Once you have the hoop spinning on your hand like this, it really only takes slight movements to keep that hoop spinning. So once you're able to do it on one hand, I do recommend that you try switching to the other hand and then go back. Try doing that as quick as you can, back and forth like this. Also too, try to put both hands inside the hoop like this as well. All right, so the second hula hoop trick that I want to show you involves spinning the hoop horizontally above your head on your hand just like this. This is also known as lasso or lasso position. So one way that you can get into this position is basically if you hold the hoop at your side like so, sort of like underhand, you can sort of pull the hoop across your body using the momentum to go up into lasso like this. Now when you have it above your head spinning, I do recommend that you keep it up in between your thumb and your fingertips. If that hoop goes below your thumb, there's a chance that that hoop could fall and hit you in the head. So I would recommend that you stop the hoop if it goes below your thumb and start spinning on your arm. And once you are able to spin the hoop on your hand in lasso, I do recommend that you try switching to your other hand. You know, try to get quicker at doing that. Also try to put both hands inside the hoop as well. The third hoop trick that I want to show you on my list involves spinning the hoop in lasso and then bringing that hoop back down to your body. Now this trick right here does involve knowing how to hoop around your waist. So if you do not know how to waist hoop, I have multiple tutorials that teach in detail about how to hula hoop around your waist, and I put some of those links in the description of this video. Also, you may have noticed that I'm using a different hoop size. This hoop is slightly larger. Larger hoops can make a difference when doing this trick. So if you happen to have a larger hoop, this would be the time that I recommend that you grab it to try this trick. All right, so back to spinning that hoop in lasso above your head. If you happen to spin the hoop to your right, I do recommend that you use your right hand for this trick. If you happen to spin the hoop to the left, then I recommend that you use your left hand for this trick. So right now I'm spinning the hoop to the right. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my right hand to bring the hoop down. So I'm just gonna basically grab that hoop like this and bring it down to my body and then spin that hoop around the belly button area of my body. Okay, so let's look at that again here. So as that hoop comes around, I'm gonna grab that hoop and then bring it back down just like that. So one way to think about this is imagine as you're bringing it down, it's almost like a corkscrew that you're grabbing onto. So you're grabbing that hoop, and as you're bringing it down, you know, to make this look a little bit more flowy, you can kind of move the hoop as you're bringing it down. And then once it gets down to, like I said, around that belly button area, give it a nice big spin around your body to complete that trick. You can also bring the hoop down if you put it on your other hand. So right now it's in my left hand. If you want to do that, basically you just have to find the hole in the hoop and stick your hand up to bring the hoop back down to your waist. Also, something that can be helpful when doing this trick is sometimes if you spin in the same direction that you spin your hoop, it can make it easier to bring that hoop back down to your body. So I do recommend that you try that, spinning in the same direction when doing this trick. Now I want to show you the fourth hula hoop trick on my list, which involves lifting the hoop up off your body into lasso, just like this. To get started, start by spinning the hoop around your waist. Now, if you spin the hoop to the left, you're going to use your right hand to grab the hoop. Now, if you spin your hoop to the right, you're going to use your left hand to grab the hoop. So my dominant side is spinning the hoop to the right. So I'm going to show you grabbing the hoop with your left hand. But if you use your right hand, just go ahead and apply the same steps to your right hand. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to basically turn around here so you can see me. So the trick here is you're just going to take your hand and you're going to insert it in between the hoop and sort of your lower back here. So what you might want to do is first get comfortable with having your hand there. And every time that hoop hits your hand, that's when you can take the hoop, grab it, and then pull it above your head like so. So let's go ahead and look at that again here. So I'm going to take my hand and I'm going to insert it in between the hoop and my back. And every time that hoop hits my hand, that's the opportunity to grab my hoop. So it's very much like a beat. So grab, 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 and then lift up above my body. So now I want to show you what it looks like to grab your hoop and to finish off that motion getting up into lasso. So if I grab my hoop like so and I pause the trick right here, what I recommend that you do is it's kind of like you're guiding with your elbow. So you're guiding with your elbow, imagining that your hoop is like a corkscrew and you're kind of going in that motion and you're bringing your elbow in front of your face like so. And then once your elbow kind of gets to this point, that's when you're lifting and extending your arm above your head to continue spinning the hoop in lasso position. Also, when first learning this trick, using a larger hoop can make this easier. Sometimes the really small hoops can make this trick really challenging. Now, if you're still struggling with your lift up, I do recommend that you practice spinning in the same direction while performing this trick. And if you are struggling to make that transition up into lasso and the hoop is just flying off your body, something else that you can try is when you lift your hoop up, just place it on your other hand and then extend your other hand up above your head to hoop in lasso position. So now we're going to move on to the fifth hula hoop trick that I want to show you, which involves taking your hoop and tossing it up and then catching it again. Okay, so you may have noticed I switched to a smaller hoop. So if you have a smaller hoop in your possession, I do recommend using a smaller hoop for this one. It might be a little bit easier. So go ahead, spin your hoop in a vertical hand hooping position on your hand. And it doesn't matter which direction you spin your hoop. Also doesn't matter which hand. I do recommend that you practice doing this on both hands. Practice catching with both hands as well. Okay, so as the hoop is spinning on your hand, go ahead and just kind of move your hand up, bring your hand out of the hoop to let the hoop sort of flow upward and then catch the hoop. Now, where you catch the hoop is you want to catch it on the side where it's going to spin again. Okay, now what I mean by that is right now I'm sort of spinning the hoop like in a counterclockwise position on my left hand. And that means I'm going to want to catch it on the right side of the hoop right here to keep it spinning. If I were to catch it on the other side, let me show you what happens. I'm going to try to catch it on the other side and see it just stops. So if you try that and that's what happens, then try catching it on the other side. So once again, spinning it on my hand, toss it up and then catch it. As you get better with your tosses, you can switch hands, you know, going back and forth, tossing it up, catching it in different hands. And then you can also try, you know, tossing quicker, okay? So catch it, maybe do one spin, then toss again, and then also sort of a continuous toss like this as well. Now we are on to the sixth hula hoop trick on my list, which involves handing the hoop off around your body, going into a step through, also known as a revolving door, just like that. Now there are different variations of the step through, but we're just gonna look at that basic one right there. So to get started, hand that hoop off around your body like this. Basically just do overhand passes to your hand in front of you and then also behind you as well. You're gonna grab that hoop overhand and continue handing that hoop off. And then when the hoop is basically in front of your body in this position, you're gonna turn that hoop into a vertical position like this. So it's just sticking right out from your body. And then you're going to step your leg through the hoop like this. And then you're going to revolve that hoop as if it's like a revolving door. And then you're going to step your other leg out of the hoop and then continue handing that hoop off around your body. So let me show you that trick a little bit faster. So I'm handing the hoop off, going into that step through, and then handing it back off around my body. Now, if you are struggling with this trick, when you get it into this position right here to step through the hoop, you can also grab the hoop with your other hand as well to help you know, do that step through, but it's not necessary. You can go ahead and just step through that hoop one-handed and move that hoop around, and then finally pass it off to your other hand. Now we are on to trick number 7, which involves doing this trick right here, known as the bow. So basically just bowing with my hoop. Now this is a trick that you can do in both hands, like so. Now there might be a hand that's easier for you when doing this trick, so I do recommend that you try this on both hands to see what you like better. To get started, start by spinning the hoop in lasso position above your head, and as the hoop spins on its side, that's when you're more or less going to grip the hoop with a very, very light grip. So you don't want something that's super firm like this. So very light grip on the hoop. And then while you're doing that, while that hoop is spinning, you're gonna sort of bow forward and allow that hoop to just continue spinning, and then eventually it'll want to spin under your arm. So let the hoop spin under your arm, and once it passes under your arm, you're going to spin that hoop back up into lasso position above your head. And so this is what this looks like in fast motion right here, like so. And like I was saying, you can spin this on both arms. So I do recommend practicing on both arms, just like that. Now we're gonna go ahead and move on to trick number 8, which is this trick right here, this hand hooping trick, which I refer to as a one-handed weave. So here's a front view of this trick. Let me show you what this hoop trick looks like from the side here. Now what's really cool about this trick right here is as you get better with your weaves, you can eventually try to do this with 2 hoops. So this is what this looks like with 2 hoops. You can also do something known as a 3-beat weave as well with the 2 hoops. So let's go ahead and just go back to that basic one-handed weave first. To get started, go ahead and take the hand that you feel most comfortable with using during this trick, and then you're going to put the hoop at your side like so, and you're gonna wanna grab that hoop at the very top of your hoop, underhand at your side, okay? Now I'm gonna turn to the side so you can see what I'm gonna do next. Then I'm going to rotate that hoop so that hoop comes up above me, and now my hand is going to be in a overhand position like this. If you rotate it the wrong way, you'll notice that you can't rotate it, okay? So basically rotate it the direction where your hand is going to end up gripping the hoop overhand, and the hoop is up at your side like this. Okay, so now I'm gonna turn back to this frontal view. So this is what this looks like now from the front. Then as I keep rotating, I'm gonna bring my hand across my body so that that hoop is now on the other side. And so in this position here, I'm gripping the hoop overhand, and now I'm going to rotate the hoop up again. And now my hand is going to be gripping the hoop underhand at my side with the hoop up. And now turning back this way, I'm going to bring that hoop back across my body, and I'm going to now repeat all the directions I just told you and do that again. Okay, so let me show you what this looks like going much faster. So this is what this looks like faster from a frontal view. Now here's what it looks like from a side view, just like this. Now let me show you what it looks like from the other side as well. Something to think about when performing this trick is I recommend that you don't get too much arm movement away from your body. Try to keep that hoop as close as you can to your body. So imagine that you're walking through like a small crack, you know, a crevice or something. You don't want that hoop to touch the sides. Now, if your arms are way too far away from your body, you know, it might look something like this. Try to avoid this. But once again, try to, you know, keep that hoop close to your body. So let me show you what this looks like from the side here. So this is what this looks like. So as you notice, my hand is, you know, still a little bit of ways from my body. That's okay. You can try bringing your hand closer. You can also try bringing your hand further away. You can also try moving your hand to a higher position too. Maybe also try lower. So I do recommend that you practice moving your arm with the hoop in different locations while performing this trick. Also too, once you master one side, I recommend that you practice this trick on the other side as well. All right, so we're now on the 9th hula hoop trick, which is this one right here called the one-leg escalator. So to do this trick, go ahead, grab your hoop, and you're basically just going to hold it at your side like so. You wanna grip your hoop underhand like this, and then you're gonna take your other hand and you're gonna place it on the side of your forehead, on the side where your hoop is. And the reason why I like to tell people to put their hands up here is because when you do this trick, watch what happens. More or less, that's kind of the whereabouts of where the hoop might come up for you to catch the hoop. So this helps you get ready to catch the hoop. but also can add some protection so that hoop doesn't just bonk you in the head. So let's go back to holding the hoop underhand at your side. So when the hoop is in this position, you're gonna wanna go ahead and step your leg closest to the hoop, inside the hoop, and you want the hoop to rest up snugly against your leg. And then what you're gonna do next is you're going to revolve that hoop sort of upward into your body, okay? So revolve that hoop upward. Also too, the size of hoop that you use when using this trick can impact this trick. You know, using hoops that are way too small, also using hoops that are way too big. So you might want to find a hoop size that works best for you. So going back to revolving the hoop into your body, so as you move that hoop sort of upward, you're going to simultaneously lift your other leg and place it into the hoop. And then you want to just push that hoop off into your body so that that hoop will just kind of fly up. And once again, you want to make sure that your hand is up here to catch the hoop. So let's look at that at full speed here. So I'm going to step into that hoop and then catch that hoop with my other hand. Now here's the thing is, when that hoop comes up your body, if the hoop is going way high, you can make adjustments to your hand to catch the hoop. So maybe move your hand a little bit higher to catch the hoop. If it's coming lower, you know, put your hand lower. Now if that hoop is just really not coming up your body, you know, kind of looks like that, then I would definitely look at the mechanics. What are you doing when you do your one leg escalator? Really make sure that you get a strong push off, strong firm push off into your body, and then release it so that hoop can travel upward. Also too, you know, are you pushing the hoop off too low? So now I want to show you trick number 10, which is this trick right here in isolation, okay? So a one-handed isolation. Now to do this trick, go ahead and you're gonna grip your hoop overhand at the bottom part of the hoop, just like so, okay? Now when doing this trick, you know, for some of you out there, this might be a lot easier using a smaller hoop. You know, if you're using a giant size hoop, this could be really challenging. Now, as you're grabbing your hoop, I want you to imagine that your hoop is bolted into a wall and it's bolted right in the center, okay? And it does not move from that bolt. However, it's like a pinwheel and it can spin around that bolt, okay? So as you are holding your hoop, I want you to go ahead and move your hoop now to the side, like so, spinning it around that bolt, and then you're gonna keep going to the very top until you cannot spin your hand anymore, like so. It feels like you can't do anything else. Once your hand is this high, then what you're gonna do is you're going to let go, spin the hoop over the back of your hand, and then you're gonna catch it in this position, and then you're gonna keep spinning it around that bolt, back to the bottom, and then you're gonna repeat those steps, and then spin it to the top again until you can't spin anymore, and then roll over the back of your hand to the other side. Okay. Now this is a trick that you can do in both hands, and I do recommend that you practice doing this in both hands, also both ways. Okay, so practice doing this both directions. Now when performing this trick, avoid doing this where you're just more or less isolating your hand in one spot and you're moving the hoop in a vertical position around your hand. But you know, really focus on grabbing that hoop and spinning it around that center point. And sometimes the most vulnerable part of this trick might be that top point, because I feel like once you let go of the hoop, there's a chance that that hoop might want to kind of fall, and that's when your isolation can kind of go off course. So, you know, really focus on, you know, letting go and rolling the hoop, rolling your hand inside the hoop to catch it again to do your isolation. Also, when doing your isolations, I recommend doing this trick in front of a mirror. It can be helpful just to see what you're doing so that you can make adjustments. Now, if you're still struggling with your isolations, another tip that you can try is you can go ahead and take your other hand and just kind of lightly grab the hoop towards the top part of the hoop. Now, you don't want to grab it too hard because right here, you want to still be able to slide that hoop through your hand. Basically, you're just using this other hand as a guide, okay? So go ahead and hold your hand here. You don't want to, you know, move it all over the place. So hold it in one spot. Use that hand as a guide, and you can then practice your isolations this way as well. And as you get better, you can go ahead and remove your hand away. So there you have it. There's 10 hula hoop tricks that involve using your hand or both of your hands. If you have any questions, please go to the comment section of this video, and please let me know what your questions are. I also have a bunch of other hula hoop tutorials on my channel. So if you want to learn how to hula hoop dance, you know, hula hoop better, visit my channel, subscribe. Thank you everybody out there for watching. Until next time, enjoy.